So I love terrible movies and I also love sci-fi movies, so I thought why not combine the two and watch terrible sci-fi movies. So today I'm going to watch the 1975 film Rollerball. I don't know the cast, I don't know the plot, I don't know what to guess off the title. I guess we'll find out. If you have any other suggestions for sci-fi movies you think I should watch, please comment below. Thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel and check back often for more awesome content. That's a very ominous intro with this song. Okay. Is this gonna be more of like a horror movie? Oh, that font. Yes. Very 70s. Is this based on a book or anything like that? Comment below and let me know. That's an interesting, yeah, it's in like this like hamster tube or something. Okay, yeah, no opening. We just had the title, no credits, right into it. Okay.
Rollerball World Champion.
Hey, that's the name of the movie.
Divisional champions visiting Madrid against powerful Houston.
I like when they had Houston and now what I know is Madrid. It looked like How Mad. Just like the HOU for Houston. Seems to be a very popular event. Okay. It has its own theme song. Excellent. Oh god. He's got spikes on his glove. I'm guessing they don't play nice.
The first team to pick up the ball will be on offense as they track the score. It's a pick up by Houston.
Oh, okay, it's kind of like lacrosse meets roller derby with motorcycles.
Watch it.
I've been to a few roller derby matches and they can get aggressive for sure. Yeah, and the spikes on his glove. Adding motorcycles seems especially dangerous. They call them moon pie? Isn't that a dessert? Oh, so rude. There are no penalties? Yeah, where's the ref? Open your eyes, the ref, open your eyes.
Keep up. On your left.
He just came out and bonked him out of nowhere. Now they're hugging, how nice. Oh, just beating him right in the head. Oh, he got it. I like this guy in this like spinning tube who's in control of everything. Oh my gosh. Seriously, he just puts people in headlocks and then chops them. Oh! Son of a nutcracker. That guy wasn't even stopping or slowing down at all. A skate to the head. I think he might be eaten out of a tube for a while. Cheese and rice. Yeah, if you fall, man, you're like, you've got other players, you've got motorcycles, like, it's not looking good.
Come on, move on.
Yeah, and this Jonathan character, they said is their highest scorer. That's the first penalty we've seen all game, and there's been so many aggressive things. Red Rover, Red Rover. Oh!
Mean. Sharp.
Yes.
I'm guessing this guy's like their owner or something, like he owns the team. Yeah, and I've noticed there's been a few of these like observational shots, like we see them walk through the doors, and there was a few shots from like up in the rafters before they were playing. I also love how they're wearing matching like jumpsuits. That's amazing. Yeah, I've definitely noticed the color orange, as is representing the team, is very prevalent as well, like everything. I'm assuming this is the team's like home office or whatever. Yeah, that's so weird to walk between these like glass panels and like this POV.
Come in, John.
It's kind of reminding me of The Prisoner right now.
For a minute, won't you?
Number 2. Uh-oh. Oh, and they're made out of glass? That seems dangerous indeed.
You've had 10 years in this game, John. Longer than anyone ever.
I feel like that's long for like any athlete. Like usually, yeah, they have a pretty short career.
So this does seem perfect time.
Oh, and that multivision, they wanted to announce his retirement on TV.
Just as if you were in the executive class.
Okay, interesting.
The corporation took my wife away because an executive wanted her.
I'm not going to
Oh my god, that's horrible.
awful game. You ought to be glad to be out of it.
It doesn't sound like he has much of a choice, to be honest. These guys, this executive class runs the world.
And understand it. Do understand it.
Yeah, and these like really long zoom ins. We've seen a few of those so far. Yeah, I'm very curious to find more about this world. They haven't said like what year this is supposed to be. Everything looks very 70s, but obviously that's when it was filmed. But I'm not sure what year it's supposed to be set in. And they don't seem like people that you make angry and then live to tell about it, basically. I don't recognize any of the cast so far, and they didn't have the intro title, so I guess we'll see at the end. Yeah, there's like the Energy Corporation. He said the Executive Corporation. So there's all these different sections.
You believe it, kids? I remember someone telling me about the National Football League and the World Cup.
Yeah, so there used to be different nations and these cities and stuff, and now there just seems to be like one giant world order, basically.
Hand in that gutter. Too quick. Wait till this ball comes down on the track.
Oh, God.
Anxious.
Cheese and rice. How heavy is that thing? Yeah, exactly. Especially coming out of that chute thing.
Secretary. What do you want a secretary? You planning on becoming an executive?
He can buy a secretary?
No.
Like, not hire one? He's like, when I get my privilege card, I'm gonna get a secretary?
This is in Geneva. That's a nice place to visit.
Yeah.
I guess that's where all the books are now.
Yeah, well, thank you.
All the actual, like, paper, physical books are in one place, and everything else is just on a computer.
Anything you want to know, you could hire
And they're
yourself
super classified, and
call somebody.
they blocked him from ordering them. Very interesting. Lots of censorship, I'm guessing.
You know you'll be treated right. You always have been.
Yeah.
That's an interesting building. Yeah, where did they film this? Comment below and let me know. The architecture's been cool. That's interesting how he has this set of like one main screen with 3 little screens all throughout the house. I feel like that's what they thought the future would be like, where it's just like screens everywhere, which is definitely accurate, but like I don't know anybody who has like a TV and then another TV, another TV, another TV, another TV, like only like security cameras and like those types of rooms. But I feel like I've seen that layout of screens in other sci-fi movies.
Is it all right?
That's the uniform of the house.
Yeah, did they just send him new girlfriends? Like his other partner left. She's like, we've only been together for 6 months, and they asked her to leave, and now someone else has just showed up. Oh my. Hello, Daphne.
That's right. No penalties. Limited substitutions. You can have...
No penalties? Cheese and rice.
But it's still basically the same game. And the team with the power wins.
Oh, what happens if you lose? No penalties? That's insane.
Your blows on opposing players.
Yeah, fine.
We want you to approve the sequence.
Oh. Greatest hits reel, literally.
Please.
Most deaths? What?
Oh.
Most deaths. 9. Rome versus Pitt.
Oh god, that guy's on fire?
No stat freaks in rollerball. Well, some go to the...
Killed that many people in one game? Oh my god, that's terrifying. On purpose or like why? I'm enjoying it so far. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. And it doesn't feel like a bad movie, like I'm enjoying it. It seems well done. That's so, oh yeah, cutting back and forth between them chanting and like the close-up zooming on them and his eyes. Okay, yeah, so this Tokyo team is supposed to be quite the adversaries, and they mix like 2 different kinds of martial arts in their game.
Wanted to know if I enjoyed you.
Oh my, so spicy. Yeah, there's this like agency who just sends him women basically, and I feel like he actually cares about this one, but then he's out of, it's like not up to him whenever she leaves and starts seeing somebody else basically, and they just sent him somebody else.
Why don't you go upstairs? I got a poem for you.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Yeah, and like the sound design, like they've been playing definitely like a mix of styles of music, and then how it just cuts out and he finished his poem, I'm guessing.
They're afraid of you, Jonathan.
Why are they afraid of him? Yeah, like why are they pushing him out? Yeah, and like just him, like the sport's obviously continuing. Why are they making sure that he is no longer playing, basically? Yeah, and they said like yeah, they didn't announce his retirement like they were planning on with that promo. Yeah, and like his friend was saying, like there's a lot of censorship and control in this world, so it's hard to get information and find out what's actually happening. Yeah, and she seems to be like watching him, and maybe she's like reporting back to these executives or the corporation or whatever. Oh my god. She just set that whole tree on fire. Cheese and rice. That's not a typical gun. It's like a laser gun or something? Like, what is this? Now she's like, I'm addicted to the power of the flame. Yeah, whatever the society is, it's reminding me of like Gladiator, like they like thrive on violence and aggression and fire. Yeah, the audio design has been really cool. Yeah, and he just had turned the TV on, so we hear this chanting from the promo of his name, and he's like, you can't be stopped, and then everybody's screaming his name. Yeah, she's definitely spying on him. She's like, oh, I've been told to go, and he's like, who told you that you were supposed to go? Like, he's like, doesn't appreciate being spied on, obviously.
I don't think it'll come to that. It's still a game.
No time limits either? Oh, man.
I'd sure like to find out why.
Yeah, I feel like he's had enough of being pushed around and being told to just, you know, follow orders and not ask questions, basically. Yeah, and how they don't play, like, the country's national anthem. They play this corporate national anthem because there's only one, like, global ruler now, basically. Yeah, instead of playing, like, the Houstons, you know, if there was still, I don't even know if they still have the country of America, but if Houston had an anthem and then Tokyo's anthem, if Japan was still a country. So, yeah, they're giving some mean looks. Oh, man. Stare down before they even start.
This promises to be a punishing game for both teams.
And I don't know if there's like the first person to a set number wins, like if there's no time penalties. I feel like that should be illegal if you're just hanging out by the goal. Like, come on, isn't there? I'm sure there's like an actual sports term for that. But yeah, this like POV of on the track is really, it's terrifying. But I'm glad they did it. It's an interesting perspective. Oh my god, he's taking them all out. Oh god. Yeah, if your light goes out, you're done. Bonked him. Yeah, like just like bowling balls. Like one drops, the rest just all fall down. Oh, that's cool to see his reflection on the screen. The cinematography has been really cool.
Some injuries here as 3 players are helped off the track.
Yeah, and they said limited substitutions, so if somebody gets hurt, then your team's down, I guess.
I got him, let me.
He just dragged him by his skate. Oh my god! I can't even imagine the damage that just did. He got a ball to the face, like, as it's, yeah, red light for sure, he's done. Cheese and rice. His head was, like, perfectly in line. Oh my god, that's awful. Bonked him. So many bonks. Rollerball, the game of many bonks. I guess if there's no penalties, it's like free for all. Do whatever I want, no consequences. Like, you can just beat the crap out of somebody and... They love to get you when you're down, these guys. Oh, 3-on-1, come on! What? Not Moon Pie! Of course, he looked right at his friend. They took his helmet off and then just socked him. Is he dead? There's no crying in Rollerball. Yeah, I think at some point, if there's no penalties, it becomes less about playing the game and more about just taking out other players. Oh, God. He's like, that was for Moon Pie. And comment below how many, like, stunt people were used, if the actors actually did their own, like, stunt work, because this seems... like, it would be hard to fake this kind of... Oh, God! Like, the camera's showing everything, so yeah, I'm curious. Oh, God! He just drove his motorcycle right through that person. Cheese and rice. No one's making out of here alive, man. There won't be another game. Why would you go on the track? Oh, that's like the least safe place you could be. Yeah. Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it. Oh! Ah! Oh, there goes your bike. Oh, and you're also on fire. Oh my God. Stop, drop, and roll.
A simple problem, yet I know it is difficult for you. Your teammate has no family we can call.
Oh no, is brain dead?
Before consummating matters.
Why do they seem like happy? They're like, he did a good job.
Plant, feel something.
Who can say? Please.
Jonathan's like trying to find a reason to keep his friend alive. He's like, you know, even plants feel things. Like, is he dreaming? And the guy's just like, kill him. Here's the sign. Just sign this. Kill him. He doesn't feel anything. Yeah, he'd rather keep his friend on life support than pull the plug, obviously. Oh, bye, Moon Pie. That's sad. That was like his best friend. Aw.
Take care of your arm.
Yeah, Jonathan's starting to like question things more and more. Now he's going to Geneva where they have like this computer room or computer, like the library and those books and stuff that he was looking for before. I think he started to realize like that they're giving him special treatment and like he can kind of use that to his advantage by, I think if other people had acted the way that he has, they might have seen a different fate, but he's like, they want to keep me around, obviously. They want me to retire.
The game was created to demonstrate the futility of individual effort.
Are they trying to kill off Jonathan?
Do its work.
They're hoping he'll die in the game, I'm guessing?
He must lose. I hope you agree with my reasoning.
Affirmative. 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 Oh. Changing it up. Affirmative. I wish I had that for all my meetings and I could just hit like affirmative. Oh, wild card. Nope, he went with affirmative.
Thank you all.
Okay, yeah, so this world council decides everything about the game and he's our hero for this game, but he has to die. Suspicious. It's kind of reminding me of like Death Race 2000 a little bit, but they use prisoners in that game. That's a crazy movie if you've seen it.
Hello, yes, it is. The famous Jonathan E.
I'm guessing he doesn't get visitors very often.
We're not easy to talk to, Zero and I. We're a little confused again.
Who's Zero?
Oh, misplacing data?
the whole of the 13th century.
Ha! Who needs it? That's what I always say.
Oh.
Where we're going, you don't need coats.
Ambiguous now, as if he knows nothing at all.
I kind of wish this was a TV series. I feel like there's a lot you could unpack.
A memory pool, you see?
Yeah, that's so crazy. He said it was liquid.
That's where things are and what they might possibly mean.
It looks like someone took Connect 4 and then filled it with water.
Markets, corporate decisions are made by corporate executives.
When in doubt, kick it.
Negative.
Yeah, Kinzero lie. He's like, come on, tell him. Like, it's Jonathan E. Like, why? He needs to know. And then he just kept saying negative, 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 and giving these, like, roundabout answers.
Johnny. Oh, Ella.
That was his wife? Oh, my. The one they took away.
There won't be any substitutions allowed. And no time limit.
Each game's getting more and more intense.
You're my big reward.
Yeah, no time limits, no substitutions. Like, it's just gonna be a massacre free-for-all, basically. And he knows if he plays, basically, that he might not leave the track. What? Oh, he's erasing her? Oh, no. Right in front of her, too. Cheese and rice, that's harsh. Yeah, like, what is there? Like, oh my gosh. Why? I'm trying to understand why they are having this game basically just to massacre all these people. Like, who's benefiting from that? Is it just to show him that, like, if you don't retire, we're gonna kill you, basically, and we're in control, and at the end of the day, what we say goes? Yeah, I'm curious, even if he survives this match, are they just gonna come and then kill him after anyway? Because the point is for him to die, apparently. Like, that's their goal. They need that Ted Lasso believe sign above the door. Oh, that ominous red light is not making me feel more comfortable. Ugh. Why even run the clock if there's no time limit, honestly? Can you imagine any other sport where they took away those rules? Like, no time limit, no substitutions, no penalties, like... Can you imagine watching, like, a hockey game with those things in place? Like...
Get off the rail!
Oh! Yeah! It's a massacre. It's just a massacre. The bodies are dropping left, right, and center. Yep, there they are. Oh, God, they hit the people bringing out the stretchers. No one's safe.
Trying to do.
It's a great point. At least Jonathan's like team's protecting him, but
This game! This wasn't meant to be a game!
no, sir. Clearly there was other intentions. Yeah. He's like, my God, what have I done? Oh! Oh, God. Oh, no. The track is on fire now. Down to New York's got 2 players, Houston's got 1. Oh my God, last man standing, of course, is Jonathan. The place is literally burning down. I think the audience has figured out that this should have stopped a long time ago. Nobody's cheering. Just stop pursuing the other team. And just... Truce, man, truce. It's so weird that it's so quiet and you just hear the sounds of them. There's no music, there's no chanting, there's nothing. He's like, you want to kill me? You do it in front of the people who are trying to have me killed. He's like, this is what you wanted? This is, you know, this is making you happy? Like, oh my god. Like, this is just murder now. Like, no one else is around. The score is clearly not a factor at this point. Don't give in. Don't turn into the monster. Like, oh, that's what they want. He's like, you thought I was powerful before? Like, look at me now. Like, you thought I had this hero status? Well, imagine what they're gonna say to me now. It's interesting, yeah, to show, like, the power of one person against this corporation, and he made a choice. Yeah, like, he could have chose to kill that guy, and he chose to play the game, the actual game. Oh god. Such zooms in, such ferocious zooms. And the same song that we started with, yeah. Okay, I don't recognize that name. That's so bizarre to have the credits just over his, like, really blurry, like, pixelated shot of Jonathan's eyes. Yeah, I imagine there'd be a lot of stunt people in this. So that was my first time watching the 1975 film Rollerball. I really enjoyed it. I wish they had gone a little bit more in depth into some of the other layers. I feel like there was a lot of pieces in this. So comment below, is there a TV series, a sequel, a remake, anything like that? I definitely feel like it could be a TV series because there's so many pieces and these different corporations, and I love to learn more about that. I felt like they went over it in like a broad overview, but it definitely reminded me of a few other movies. It definitely reminded me of The Prisoner, how this one guy is kind of like fighting this corporation and asking questions and trying to get his way out, and Death Race 2000, where they have prisoners, you know, racing in order to get their freedom, which is a crazy movie. You should check it out if you have. It's definitely intense, and it also kind of reminded me of Gladiator, how everybody's cheering for there's such violence and aggression, and how the crowd mentality just feeds into this. And I thought the sound design was so well done, especially when we had the big matches, and we've got the sound of everybody skating and screaming and getting hurt, and then also the sound of like the commentator and the sound of the crowd cheering. And I noticed they also stopped the sound a few times very abruptly throughout the film, and I thought that's not something that happens very often, but when it does, it kind of instantly makes you pay attention, because you're, as an audience member, you're used to having like that seamless sound mix, and even if nobody's talking, you're used to like nature sounds or something in the background. To have like complete dead silence like we saw in that final scene, I think is like so rare, and it kind of just feels off-putting in its own, if that makes sense, because there's an absence there and you're used to having something fill that space. The reaction from the crowd, and when Jonathan makes the decision to not kill the other team, and he had the advantage, you know, he was in a position where he could have very easily, and that would have been the end of it, but I think he realized this is exactly what they want me to do. They want me to become this person, and everybody's watching, and it's no longer a game, like that guy said, like it never was. And I feel like that was such a defining moment for Jonathan's character, basically, where he's like, you know what, I can go score a point for my team, which is, you know, in every game, basically, that's the goal. He's like, or I could physically hurt this person, and that's not the point of this game. They've turned it into this, but that's not why he plays. He plays because he loves it, and that showed. I think if he had attacked that person, he would have been a totally different character. He was so calm, and even his, like, he was very soft spoken and had this like cowboy lifestyle, you know, he lives on a ranch, you know, those big belt buckles, and just he had that kind of persona. And then at the end, when we see him choose not to be violent, when he decides to just score a point for his team, even though his team is completely obliterated at that point, no one is left. His closest friend is brain dead. He's erased Ella, his wife, that the executives took away from him. Like, he's at the end of his rope, basically. He's done. He doesn't want to be involved in this game anymore. And even when he scores, they're not cheering for him. Like, nobody is celebrating at this point. Everybody's realized what has happened and what they're doing, and then when they see him slowly start to chant his name, and he just starts to realize, like, okay, the people have the power, we can fight back. And we see Mr. Bartholomew leave. He's so upset. Obviously this is not the result he wanted to see Jonathan dead on that track. That's the whole reason he had this game, and took away all the rules, and was like, you know, he's not going to retire. And put him in this situation basically where it's a free-for-all, and he's just very disappointed he didn't get his way. I perceived it as that they wanted Jonathan to retire so that they could have this trophy boy, this hero that they could parade around and, say how great the sport is and how, what a legacy he has and all this kind of stuff. And then when he says no, which I feel like is something that doesn't happen very often in this world, they kind of have to make up a new plan. So then they just set everything against him basically in the games, get more and more aggressive and have less and less rules, and go from being like, okay, just no penalties. Okay, well now no penalties, no substitutions, and no time limits. Like, just insanity. Like, the rules are what makes it a game. Like, that's what separates it from being just people beating the crap out of each other for no reason, basically, to a game that has rules that you follow and that you play. I didn't recognize the cast or the director or anything, so comment below, have I seen them in other stuff, and this is just a much younger version of them. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't say this was a bad movie. I don't know how it was received when it came out. I really enjoyed it. It definitely didn't feel like a stereotypical sci-fi movie. There wasn't aliens or spaceships or other planets. It was more like a dystopian world. I don't think they said what year this is supposed to take place. I know it came out in 75, and it definitely looked 70s. How they went with the color orange for the Houston team, and everybody's wearing like tans and like these earth colors. And typically when we watch sci-fi movies, everything is either stark white, because that's what they think the future is just gonna be, like this hyper, holographic, clean universe, or it's like neon colors, if there's any colors. So yeah, it was interesting to see kind of a different approach. And the audio, the song choices, having that opening and ending song, I don't know the name of the song, but it's very intense, and I'm sure I've heard it in other stuff before. But yeah, that was just so uncomfortable. And then they even had some like more modern music playing. I don't know where this was filmed, so comment below and let me know, but I really love the architecture. I thought that was super cool and kind of a character in itself. Comment below if you know how many stunt performers were used in this. I feel like there would have been a lot, especially considering how risky this would have been to film. And like I said, I didn't see a ton of cuts. There wasn't like, oh, someone's falling and then it's off camera, like it seemed to be pretty coherent, and when somebody got hurt, we followed that right away. So I don't know if the actors did a lot of their own stunts, but yeah, it was just so intense, and it just made you feel kind of claustrophobic, especially when they had the camera POV of them on the track during the matches, because you're just sardined in there with everybody, and you're at such weird eye levels, like when we had like the skate eye level, and that when the ball comes out of the chute and hits that guy in the head, and oh my god, just terrifying. Like, I'm glad this wasn't in 3D. That would have been a nightmare. I think if they didn't have that and just had like a viewpoint from the stands or something else, it would have been a much safer, more observant movie. But I feel like the director wanted to literally take the audience and put them in the front seat of this and have them experience this like the players were, and experience all the uncomfortableness and how close and dangerous of a situation this could be. And even we have like some following shots. I don't know if Steadicam was used or a version of Steadicam, but I think there was some tracking shots and definitely a lot of POV. I love this idea of this zero hypercomputer that's like the world's filing system, and then he loses the 13th century. Oh well. And then it's just he goes in, and it kind of reminded me of that scene in Harry Potter when he's plucking memories from that pool, how it's just like this cylinder of water that you ask questions to and it responds, and it just stores all your information. Like, such an interesting concept, and how books don't seem to be in existence anymore. Everything is just digitized or transcribed, and you just get the transcript off a computer. So it's really interesting, and I think it's those little things that I love in sci-fi, where they're like, oh, well, in your version of, the future, we have books, but in our version, we've taken away all the books. And even when Jonathan is watching memories of him and Ella, and him and some other companions, and it was interesting to think, okay, did someone film this? Are these your memories? Are you just playing back memories you have, and that's what you're watching? That's what it kind of felt like, which I believe was also an episode of Black Mirror where people record their memories and then can play them back. It was interesting to think of this world where there doesn't seem to be countries anymore. There's obviously cities. We saw several cities compete against Houston in these rollerball games, and how they talked about the corporate wars, and how one corporation obviously won and took over, and how there's like the energy corporation, everything is very like subdivided into these different corporations. I feel like you could compare the power these executives have to powers of certain members of parliament or people in authority, and how they can just do whatever they want basically without consequences, or maybe that's how it's perceived. But yeah, it was interesting to think about how Jonathan has just sent these different women. They even took away his wife because somebody else wanted her, and then even when he sees Maggie at that party, he's like, oh hey, like I recognize you, you know, we were together for 6 months, like how's it going? And she's like, oh, I'm with an executive now, like too bad, sorry, like someone of higher power has stepped in and I can't do anything about it basically. And I feel like you could definitely relate that to modern day in some aspects, so that was interesting. I'd like to hope there would be consequences in modern day for those actions, but who knows? Just this all-powerful, all-knowing, you know, no questions asked, do as you're told situation, basically. And we see that when Mr. Bartholomew is threatening Jonathan several times, being like, you better retire, you have to retire, like, this isn't an option, basically. I really liked seeing the shift in Jonathan kind of go from questioning things more and more, going to Geneva, like looking into this research and finding more about this corporate wars and what's going on. And even when he tries to ask for information about it, negative, it doesn't exist. Like they've completely blocked that part of history from anybody accessing it. And I think you could relate that for specific periods of time during our history when information was withheld or countries didn't let other people know what happened because they wanted to keep that information protected. And it was very interesting just to kind of see the censorship and how Jonathan was trying to get to the bottom of this and become his own person and not just follow rules and not just do what he's told. And I feel like although he's enjoyed this rollerball lifestyle and having, you know, certain privileges, it definitely seemed like he was able to do things that other people didn't. I wish we would have seen more of the everyday person. We definitely got to see Jonathan's life and the executive's life, but I'm curious as to what an audience member at one of these games, what their life would have been like and the differences between the class structure. I'm curious if there is a sequel, if it's Jonathan fighting against this corporation even more, or if that's meant to be implied by the end of this film when we see him cheering and everybody's rallying behind him and the people have come together now, that we'll assume will start fighting back more. And now that they've seen that one person can defy this corporate overlord and that Mr. Bartholomew didn't get his way, Jonathan wasn't playing by what he wanted. It was definitely a slow burn, but I still really enjoyed it. There was really cool sets throughout the film. I liked seeing the scene where we go into Mr. Bartholomew's office. That one reminded me of The Prisoner, I think, the most, when he's walking through these glass, like, hanging from the ceiling. I don't want to say chandeliers, but something like that, and he cuts himself on them, and just that conversation him and Bartholomew have remind me of The Prisoner. And then the sets even at Jonathan's house is like ranch style, which seemed more like Firefly sci-fi with like this cowboy element in it as well. I thought the track where they played the game was a really cool set, and I don't know, other than like cycling, what kind of sport has a track like that, but so cool, and just everybody surrounded, and again, just adding to that feeling like somebody's always watching and this claustrophobic feeling. Overall, I really enjoyed it. Definitely not a stereotypical sci-fi movie, more of a slow burn, but I still really enjoyed it. I thought it was an interesting concept of this one giant corporation controlling the entire world and using sports to kind of control its audience and to control its players and how they manipulate those people to get them to do what they want. I thought the sound design was great. I thought the story was great. The cinematography was amazing. Those like zoom in and zoom outs, like just, it was kind of uncomfortable to watch, but I think that's what they were going for, is they wanted to make you feel like something was off. This wasn't like a popcorn movie. This was a movie that was meant to make you think, and I really enjoyed that. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Soylent Green as well, and I love that it reminds me of The Prisoner and all these other movies and these themes of censorship and control, and just a really interesting movie. But thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for sci-fi movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Yeah, and the spikes on his glove. They call them moon pie? A skate to the head. You can buy a secretary? No penalties? Cheese and rice. And they mix like 2 different kinds of martial arts in their game. It's like a laser gun. No time limits either. Oh man. They took his helmet off and then just socked him. They're hoping he'll die in the game, I'm guessing.